flex. Buckle up and join the best. Let City relieve your stress. So yes, let the music soothe your soul and keep it going just to refresh. Buckle and enjoy the ride from 2 to the half of the 5. Mondays to Fridays happening live. Where we gon' have a ball, you can text your guys. Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through. We got everything you need, that's true. Are you ready for the traffic avenue? Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through. We got everything you need, that's true. An applause for the traffic avenue.
Traffic Avenue, the show for me and you.
Detailed news, unparalleled coverage. City News on 97.3 FM.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
City News.
It's 17:30 GMT. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. I am Umaru Sanda Amadou. Tonight, I'm here with
Hawa Idrisu Mustafa.
And coming up over the next 90 minutes, Electoral Commission's 23-day-long registration exercise for new voters ends today. We'll get reactions from the various stakeholders. Also coming up, Ghana Irrigation Development Authority issues a response explaining the 12 million cedi expenditure on the non-existent Polugo Irrigation Dam. The authority says there are structures to support the expenditure. We'll be hearing the full response here, plus reactions. And later on Eyewitness News,
I personally listened to him during his recent campaign tour across the country, and he insists that it is possible. And I see that everywhere. It is possible. I think that positive message is very, very important for this country. It is possible.
That's the Trades Union Congress, TUC. Is that an endorsement of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's campaign message? We'll be telling you more on what the TUC's position on the MPP flag bearer is. Stay with 97.3 Citi FM for more on this and many other stories on Eyewitness News. And in business,
Private sector credit slows as commercial banks hold more cash with Bank of Ghana rather than lending to businesses.
That's from the City Business Desk in 50 minutes from now. Eyewitness News is live across the world on citynewsroom.com. We are also on Facebook. We are on YouTube. We are across Ghana on a host of affiliate stations. In Takrady, in the Western region, we are on multiple stations, including Beach 105.5 FM and Sky Power 93.5 FM. In Takwa, in the Western region, we are on Adrianpa 100.7 FM. In Bono region, we are in Sunyani on Greener 95.9 FM. In Ashanti region, we are in Kumasi on two stations, Focus 94.3 FM and Orange 107.9 FM. In the Volta region, we are in Tajevu on Revival 99.3 FM and we are in Hohwe on VOV Radio 95.7. In the Northern region, we are in Bimbila on Radio Bimbila 91.9 FM. In Upper East region, we are in Garu on Quality 88.7 FM. In the Upper West region, we are on Tungsung 97.3 FM in Wa and Jirapa FM 96.1 based in Jirapa. You can send us messages to react to the issues that we're bringing you tonight. 0549 986 996. That's the WhatsApp number. 0549 986 996. You can also go on Twitter and drop your messages using the hashtag City Newsroom. My handle is at Umaru Sanda. Now, the Electoral Commission, as part of the calendar towards the elections of 2024, ruled out a registration exercise for persons who've never voted before and persons who've just turned 18 to come and obtain the Ghana card. The initial days had some skirmishes, a few issues here and there, but subsequently the EC rectified a number of the challenges and the process came to an end. But the EC added 2 more days to mop up other challenges that have come up. So 23 days on, what is the verdict on how the EC's registration has gone so far? Mustafa Gbande is Deputy General Secretary of the NDC in charge of operations. They've had issues with the Electoral Commission. Have all the issues been sorted out? You're welcome to Eyewitness News here.
Thank you very much, Omar.
So what will be your general assessment of the registration exercise so far?
Thank you very much and good evening to our Minister. I think the best preliminary because we'll send the committee as a body and look at the generality of the exercise. But as of today, I think that the NDC owes that due to the number of teeming Ghanaians who, in the belief that there's a need to change a government, and that will only happen through exercising a right to vote, was able to queue and to have themselves registered despite the challenges that they had to go through. We also commend the Electoral Commission, particularly its district officers. Most of them, even though we have had pockets of issues, for their level of cooperation with us as political parties, with the people of Ghana, to have ensured that this process, as far as the registration is concerned, was successful, in spite of the challenges, operational challenges that we have identified. And then, by and large, I think even though we have issues with the headquarters of the Electoral Commission and all its political elements, I think that generally they've listened to political parties on a number of issues that we have raised. They agree with the alertness of the NDC's election directorate as far as pointing to errors, mistakes, and all of that. They admitted and have made those changes as and when we called their attention. And so generally, I think that the exercise have been successful, but we are yet to also see if we still have some people who have not been registered and are still in queues owing to technical challenges that we have incurred in the past. The exercise have not ended yet. Registration have ended, but we are compiling register for prosy, special voting, and all of that. That is another hurdle that all of us will cross. And we are hoping that the Electoral Commission will discharge its mandate in accordance with what the electoral law says. Anything less than what the law says is what the NDC will not agree with. I believe that what regulates all of us is the law. Once they do that, if you are not qualified to transfer your vote to a particular destination, the Electoral Commission should not help you do that. If you are not qualified to be a prosy, the Electoral Commission must ensure that you are not able to perpetrate electoral fraud. And I think once that is done, we are good to go.
The EC then would have been vindicated. You saying that the process was successful, it means the EC has been vindicated and that everything you were saying prior to the registration, all the demands you were making, would amount to crying wolf where there was none.
No, that would be correct assessment. Don't forget that we still have issues regarding the wrongful appointments of returning officers, which is a legal matter. The NDC have raised it. We are hoping that the Electoral Commission will listen. Number two, because that issue is a clear violation of regulation section 8, subsection 2.3 of CI 91, and they know that. Number two, we still have issues regards to missing BVR machines, for which are standing major issues that we have to resolve going into the election. Indeed, we have ensured that we've been able to get serial numbers of all machines that have been deployed into the exercise to guard against these perpetrators or these people who have stolen the BVR machines from using it to engage in any exercise that compromises the integrity of the election. Beyond that, I think that all other issues are ones that will say that we've been able to register people. Political parties have carried the burdens. We have had these conversations, Omar, that political parties, by constitution, should not be the one spending to bar people for registration. It's a fundamental generic issue. Beyond that, I think that we are good to go.
I see. The EC gave an estimate of the number of people it expected to register, over 600,000 or so. You had other projections which were more than what the EC projected. How, at the end of the day, are the numbers tallying? Are they agreeing more with your projections or agreeing more with the EC's projections?
I think generally it's too early for me to be having or speaking to tentative figures. It will take about 1 hour for us to get there. But again, it is wrong for Electoral Commission to project figures because the number of people in Ghana who are qualified to vote, but yet are not on the electoral roll, are enormous and a lot. One cannot sit at the Electoral Commission's headquarters and be able to forecast the number of those people who have now decided to vote. So it was a wrong, target in the first place for the Commission to say that I want to register a particular number of people, which is the reason why EC have skewed a lot of the exercises, made it so difficult, make it so cumbersome, so unbearable for the ordinary voter to be able to go and register. All of the processes that the Commission have put in place for the registration are all processes that are not inuring to the convenience of the ordinary Ghanaian and the voter. And that is a violation or an unpleasant taste to a voter who is safeguarded by the Constitution. We all know that. And so we cannot say that the Electoral Commission should set a target. It's wrong. The Electoral Commission should not be doing that.
Moving forward, there are other things on the EC's calendar. Is your party ready? Is there cooperation with the EC? Are things looking good?
The NDC is not a non-conformist party. We are a party that cooperates with systems that are in sync with what the Constitution says. Kumar, and let me state it that the Electoral Commission is not a commission that have discretionary power. Everything the Electoral Commission does is regulated by law, including communications of the Electoral Commission. And so if activities and calendars of the Electoral Commission are in accordance with what the laws of our election says, the NDC will not object because we are prepared for an election. And we have stated that we've been defeated to our weakness twice. And we have decided that the NDC will not be defeated third time. And so, from technology to human resource, we are ready anytime the Electoral Commission is ready to roll out any program or any policy that political parties are supposed to participate. We are not just a group of people who believe that we are opposed to everything that the Electoral Commission does. That is not the case. We speak because some of the things the Electoral Commission does are a clear violation of the Constitution, are a clear violation of its own laws. That is why we speak to them. And whenever we speak, we demonstrate with evidence. And so beyond that, we are willing to cooperate with the Electoral Commission. Anything that will give us a transparent, a free, a credible, and a fair election that will reflect the will of the Ghanaian and the voter. Beyond that, the NDC will not be for it. The NDC does not need the Electoral Commission to compromise an election process for us to win. We are asking that be fair to us, be fair to the MPP, be fair to the ordinary voter, so that at the end of the day, whatever happens will reflect the will and the mandate of the people. The Ghanaian people have a duty to choose their leader. And when they queue and they vote, let the results reflect the number of people who have actually queued and who have actually voted for a particular person to be their president. That is the campaign the NDC has. And that is what the ordinary Ghanaian is concerned about. I believe that my brothers in the MPP will also be thinking about it, unless, of course, they have something that we don't know. Otherwise, this is what we should all be calling for.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Mustafa Gbande is Deputy General Secretary of the NDC in charge of operations. Let's go on the other phone lines. Haruna Mohammed is a Deputy Secretary as well of the New Patriotic Party. Sir, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Umaru.
So I spoke to Mustafa Gbande from the NDC perspective. Despite all the issues that came up in the early days, the electoral process was a success, as in the registration was a success. That's a verdict. What is your own verdict as a party on the process so far?
Thank you very much, Umaru. I will say good evening to your cherished listeners and you yourself and my good brother, Mustafa Gbande. From the side of the MPP, we have always remained the beacon of democracy in Ghana, and we have always shaping the process of electioneering, both registration and election processes. And no doubt about that, if you look at the stolen verdict to date, you will see that we have contributed positively to election processes in Ghana. With regards to the registration exercise that has happened between the 29 days and 23 days exercise that is undertaken by the Electoral Commission, I believe that in the early days there were so much hitches, and going forward, the Electoral Commission had made provisions to ensure that this doesn't happen, and then some remedial measures has been taken place to be able to give confidence to the entire process, even though we had issues and will continue to have issues in some of the processes. Lo and behold, I believe that it has been transparent, it has been open. Many people have been given the opportunity to exercise their right as enshrined in the 1992 Constitution.
I see. Are there shortcomings that you would advise the Electoral Commission to work on?
Yes, surely. One, if you look at the exercise that has happened, it looks like there was no much information with regards to the registration of voters into the voters register. You also look at the time periods and limits that were given for us to be able to start this process was not something that had followed some aspects of the CI in respect to the recruitment of officers, that is the registration officers and what have you. We needed to have received these people 14 days before the exercise that will be able to raise concerns, and then the Electoral Commission also listened to us within 7 days, and this had not happened. We had a cause to complain, but the EC told us that despite the fact that the days have elapsed based on the CI 91, we could go ahead as they start the process to raise concerns on officers that we feel that are not suitable to handle this particular exercise based on facts as established by CI 91. So these are some of the things that we want them to look at when next we are going to do such exercise. Let's look at the constitutional provisions, matters that needs to be addressed before such exercise. Information to the people, the registration centers should be much publicized and gazetted as the processes has been. I believe there is always going to be a room for improvement when time is given. But these are some of the concerns that we are raising.
The NDC is worried about political parties having to do the transportation of registrants to registration centers. It appears that that's something that will be happening. The EC says that's not its mandate. It just opens the register for you to come and put your name in there. Moving forward, would the NPP join the NDC perhaps in advocating for that cessation?
For this one, it's a voluntary exercise. If my memory serves me right, if I look at CI 126 and then look at CI 91, there is no mandate that is given to any political party to carry people to the registration center. It is because we political parties want to mobilize people, we want to get people, because the essence of winning elections or how to win elections includes numbers. So we take it upon ourselves voluntarily to do that exercise. It's not mandatory. So for me to say that political parties should not be given the opportunity of transferring people from one place to the other, and that should be a concern. This is something that we have brought upon ourselves as political parties, and it is not something that we should be calling out the Electoral Commission to address such a matter. It is not compulsory. It is not constitutional. So, and it is not something that we can obviously complain.
Okay.
But we are doing so to get members to want our party vote for us when we get the opportunity to be on the ballot.
Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you, Maru.
That's Haruna Mohammed. He's Deputy General Secretary of the NPP, speaking to us on the final day of the registration of new voters by the Electoral Commission. Your messages are coming through. Zilis Dwayne sends a message from London, and he says the EC must be very vigilant. We just need a peaceful election in December. Akapo Jr. in Hafomim says the EC must rather ask and encourage those who have not been able to register to do so at designated offices instead of extending the date. Let me go on the other line and speak to Albert Ahin. He is a national coordinator for CODEO. CODEO is a coalition of domestic election observers. Sir, you're welcome to Eyewitness News. You deployed to observe this particular exercise. At the end of the exercise, 3 weeks plus, what's your verdict?
Oh, thank you very much, and good evening to your listeners. My verdict is that the EC did well. It has done well. And why I'm saying this is that, yes, we had problems at the initial stage, especially with the first 2 days. We had this problem of some machines not working well. And then we also had this network problem. And so if you remember at a point in time, they said they could go offline and be doing registration. But I think the ECA listened to advice, so they were able to cope. And so after the first 2 days where we had these problems, the exercise stabilized. And so it was going on smoothly. My only worry, or the only issue that I had from the field, and which I wasn't so happy about, is this fact of this guarantor system being abused. And I don't know when this is going to stop. If you listen to the statistics, as it was revealed today, I think about 63% of the people who registered went through the guarantor system. And this goes to show or to prove that maybe we need to one day have to use this ID card that the EC was proposing, the citizen's card, the national identity card that they proposed that it should be used for the registration. And why I'm saying this is that for most of the time when there's any trouble at the registration center, it's either with the guarantor system or it's with these minor people who are presented as minors to register. And so I think as a nation, we need to be very firm on this if we want our registration to go on smoothly in future. That we should stick to one aspect of it as qualification. We should be able to say that it's either the passport or the ID card or whatever. You see, because the guarantor system is being abused in the sense that people are always roaming the station and trying to prove that they know somebody and the person should be allowed to do the registration. And this is always causing chaos. And at the IPAC meeting today, I think this was brought to the fore. And I believe the EC will be working very hard to cooperate with the National Identification Authority so that this thing is resolved once and for all. We should be able to, in future, use either the citizen's ID card or whatever will be added so that we avoid this idea of this is my cousin, this is my nephew, I know him. Sometimes people roam the police station, they don't even know the people, and then they sit there and guarantee for them. I think it's a nuisance.
It's actually a point I was going to draw your attention to. So this is outside the domain of the Electoral Commission. You know, the issuance of the Ghana card is an NIA thing. And I find it worrying, though, that over 60% of the people who registered use the guarantor system and not the Ghana card. I do not think these people have Ghana cards and ignore them and went to bring two guarantors. It means that the number of Ghana cards in the system are not as many as we anticipated.
That is very true. And I'm surprised myself because I remember some time back, way back, it was, they alluded to the fact that about 17 million people have been issued with these cards. Does it mean that some of these cards are sitting at the offices of the NIA and the people are not collecting? It beats my imagination. I sometimes worry. And my brother, if you will agree, I think you've been reading about it. It's either the minor problem, people who are minors being brought in to register, or people being brought in there as people they knew or know somewhere. And for most of the time, they might not even know them from any other place. They happen to be going around the police station. They come across them because they are their party people. Then, of course, they guarantee for them. And I think it's not fair. We are not being sincere to the system. For any election to be free, fair, and incontrovertible, you should have a registration system that works to perfection. You see, so the moment your registration is, tainted with some of these problems, it doesn't look good.
Another issue, political parties had to bus people to come and register. Obviously, they wanted more numbers, and so they would send people to go and register. Do you think this is something we should leave to a state institution to do in the future? Is this something that even happens in any of the other jurisdictions CODEO deploys to observe elections? Should it be stopped or should it be allowed to encourage the democratic process?
You see, we all know that parties should encourage their people. Parties should motivate them to mobilize them. But what is happening in this country is that For example, there are two adjacent constituencies. I competed with you the last time, and maybe I beat you with about maybe 200 votes or 10 votes or whatever. The tendency has been that people would want to mobilize the people who are close by in that constituency to come and do registration so that it will affect the number and change it. You see, so this Barson thing has been a problem. And I think there's even a law against it. Barson people, sending them to the center. They all are supposed to be coming to the police station or the registration centers on their own volition. Honestly, apart from the fact that they have to maybe mobilize them, they are supposed to be there, on their own accord to do registration. But it looks as if in this country we have this problem of people, Barson. They sometimes may not have the means to transport themselves there, or maybe they don't have the means together because of distance. So maybe the lesson here is that we need to carry the registration or the vote to the people at the closest means or the closest point that we have to do. You see, because the argument is that most of the time we do it at the district centers and the people are not able to transport themselves to the place. And that is why the parties take advantage of it. And I think as a nation we need to look critically at it. It is also one source of worry and a problem, especially in places where somebody beats a candidate with about 10 votes, and then all of a sudden, you see that that candidate who was beaten is transported, bringing a lot of people. The people might not be residing in the constituency. And then when they are challenged, it becomes a problem. People start fighting. You are not from here. Well, how come you are registering here? And then these kind of things do okay. I think it raised a very important issue, and we need to be very careful about it.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. Moving forward, in fact, let me just ask you as the politicians, what would be your advice to the EC? What things do they have to fix by maybe next 4 years?
You mean the next registration?
Yes, for the next registration. What would you know?
I would advise in the first place, they should collaborate seriously with the NIE about this national identification thing. Once we get that right, so that everybody goes to the registration center or the voting center with the car, all these problems about guns being fired at centers, I think will be a thing of the past.
Very well.
You see,
yes. Indeed.
Yes, we need to do that. We need to collaborate and see how best this can be done and resolved once and for all.
Thank you so much for speaking to us, sir.
Thank you, my brother.
That's Albert Ahin. He's National Coordinator of the Coalition of Domestic Election Observers.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
KB, yo. Hey, KB, aka Kubeboga, now drives a Bugatti. He can even travel by road from Accra to London. Oh, wow. KB's source of wealth is agriculture. Yes, coconut business. After losing his bank job, he started supplying coconuts at events. Now, he owns large coconut plantations and employs many young people. Charlie, we all need to trust the process, because hope day.
There has never been a better time to enter into agribusiness. Take a bold step today with the Ghana Grows program, because every step pays. Ejuma Wokrom, Ghana Grows, Hope Day, an initiative of the MasterCard Foundation in partnership with Springboard Roadshow Foundation and Limehouse.
Are you feeling tired after a hard day's work? Have you lost your appetite even for your favorite dish? Viral Blood Tonic is a nutritionally balanced, pleasant-tasting tonic fortified with iron and vitamins to boost your appetite and energy levels for high performance. Viral Blood Tonic, easy to take and good for the whole family. Viral from Danex Iting Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. This advert is FDA approved.
You know, Papa see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, Papa! Bobo, so how's your engine now? It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Cause and you can feel better energy.
Can't touch this. Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that?
Yes, so somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched.
Sancho Panza. Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz?
No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine
younger for longer. Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency.
Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Sorry. Chairman Mane.
Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. The Ghana Irrigation Development Authority has discredited report that $11.9 million was spent as a final payment on the Paulugu multi-purpose dam without any work done. Some members of the Mines and Energy Committee in Parliament visited the site over the weekend, claiming no work had been done despite the payment of almost $12 million. But in a statement, the authority clarified that the said amount was 12% of the mobilization fund the contractors needed to start work. The statement also revealed that a campsite was built along with access roads and other technical works. However, Wa East MP Godfred Gisau described the images of the campsite shared by the authority as misleading.
This picture and existence of a camp could be misleading because this is way back in October. And in October, when we visited the campsite, we went back to Gambaka Nalebu and held a meeting. We got a presentation from the Ghana Irrigation Development Authority and a presentation from the contractors. So they showed us pictures, futuristic pictures of how and models of how the whole project will come up to be and so on and so forth. And so we're impressed. And then we even issued statements thereafter to call on government to speed up disbursements of money to these contractors to be able to execute the project. Otherwise, delays means that gains that these contractors have made at implementation will be eroded, and that means that the project will keep stalling. So we actually added our voice on the need to make timely disbursements of money. But you see, what Edward Bauer and his team went to see now is the same site. But what we are seeing now is that the containers had actually disappeared, and this is rational. No contractor will leave his containers and take and go to construct new containers in another site of his next project. They don't do that. They carry their camps away. So as we speak, the current state of the project is that the camp doesn't exist anymore. What you see is relics of a camp that existed.
You heard the Wa East MP Godfred Gisau. Meanwhile, Member of Parliament for Bongo in the Upper East region, Edward Bauer, is demanding transparency in all technical works undertaken on the dam to justify the payment of $11.9 million. According to him, the roads cited by the authority as being constructed do not exist. He spoke on the City Breakfast Show earlier today.
Yes, you know they are supposed to have, it's a multi-purpose thing. One is going to be the construction of the hydro dam that will give you both the hydropower and the solar power combined. That is what is supposed to be around $500 something million. Then there's a second part of it, which is supposed to be the irrigation component of that is going to irrigate thousands of acres of land, mainly in the northeast area. And so where the construction is supposed to take place in terms of the dam, the construction of the dam. Remember that the irrigation will benefit from the dam, and that's why it's supposed to be at the lower part of the construction. It is after the construction of the dam, then the irrigation aspect comes in, because that is the water they will rely on to irrigate those thousands of land. So that was why we went to the site where the construction was supposed to take place. And then when we got...
Good. I want to clarify something. When you read the letter or the statement from the Irrigation Development Authority, they break the project into two components. The first part is what you mentioned, the multipurpose dam, which is a 60 megawatt hydropower dam and 50 megawatt solar power system, which is to be implemented by VRA and the Ministry of Energy at a cost of 588 million. Now they are saying that the second component, which you are referring to, the irrigation component, is downstream of the dam, implemented by the Ghana Irrigation Development Authority, who are writing this letter at 400 million. And they're saying that the payment was made under the irrigation component. So that's point number one. Point number two, the site for the camp is not at Kurugu in the northeast, but at a place called Sariba, Basingpe. So they are saying the camp and the site office are located at Sariba, Sariba, and then the road is a road from Sariba to Basingpe. I don't know if this is the information the committee. Is this information?
Be patient. Sariba to Basingpe and to Kurugu is on the same way. So that is the road, and it connects. If you know the border, the main border road. After while you get to a village known as Wuluku, there's a diversion that goes to the Sariba, then to Kurugu, which is the final end. Because after the Kurugu, you are entering into the river. So that's the road, and that is the road they said they had constructed. That is the road we took. We went. It's a pathway. It is not a road. And indeed, if you see what they call it, the pictures that we show, you will see it. Unfortunately, because we didn't take the pictures when we were coming, we just took the pictures at the main site. For example, when we go to the Chief's Palace and other things. But first, we wanted to even talk to the indigenous. Maybe possibly there was something that was done in a particular area that we may not have known. And nothing. And that's why I indicated that we just had some few blocks that were there. There were about 150, 200 that was there. And then chief of chipping. And indeed, the chief of the area had indicated that those two, that's the chippings and the blocks, had been sold to a private person. And the people, they did not do a single thing. So if you even say you have a camp, there's no camp. There's no existing camp.
All right.
Anywhere.
So just to be clear, you're saying that the road that they describe in the press statement actually is supposed to lead you to Kurugu. So the Kurugu that you went to, you use the same road that they say they had done. Yes. And this road you're saying is like a donkey path.
It's like a donkey path.
All right, but they also say that the camp has been built, and they actually showed photos of the camp. So if you look at the statement they released, there's an aerial view of the contractor's camp, which has about 12 long structures, or even 15 structures with blue roofing sheets, and it's been walled. And then there's also a contractor's workshop. And then there's a photo of the Parliamentary Select Committee of Agric inspecting the contractor's camp. So my concern is, if you are going to check, let me just ask a question, and I'm not trying to say anything. I'm just trying to put a question out. If parliamentarians are going to check on the site, how come you didn't go to the camp? Or is it that you didn't know that the money was spent for the camp? Because if there are pictures of the camp here.
You see, and that's the argument I'm making is that these supposed pictures, I don't know exactly where they have gotten these pictures from. Look, we went to that place. Before we even go to Kurugu, our initial place was that we went to where the commissioning took place to see whether if maybe something had been done at the commissioning place. Because you remember, the commission was actually not also in Kurugu, or it was not in Kasing, it was actually in the Currency District, which was in Paragu in South. So that was where the commissioning was done. So we even passed through the commissioning first. And nothing was there. Then we were told that, look, it is rather in the communities that they have mentioned. And so we went to Wulugu and got the individuals there to take us. And we got there, and there was nothing apart from those blocks. As to where they got those pictures. Bernard, you have a correspondent in Upper East and in North East. Get them to go and to show us exactly when they say they I don't know. And what parliamentary committee they are making. But I'm getting to that. There's also, you see, the road that connects, the road that they are talking about, what do you call it, the passenger River Road. It terminates at Kurugu. And that's where they actually went to put their blocks and other things to construct a camp. So it was supposed to be the camp. And There's nothing there apart from those blocks and then the chickens. And I'm saying that if there's any structure on that road, unless maybe they are doing it in another village, we don't know, but if it is where they are mentioning, there's nothing there. And usually on that road, all you see is just in anywhere. The journalists who, you remember that Joy FM had even done a documentary had done a documentary, just that there was nothing in that area. Luckily enough, he was one of the people we also took there to the place, but we had seen that documentary on Joy FM, also saying that nothing had been done. So the pictures that they are supposed to be showing, indicating that they have camps and other things, there's nothing on the ground. The road they are talking about, Bernard, I wish it was Accra to that place was just maybe like to tell me, I would have asked you to come with your car to check. It's like a pathway. And unfortunately for us on that day, it had rained in the morning, so we could hardly even drive there. So for them to indicate that they have part of the money was used for the camp, part of it was used for the access road. For the documentations, you cannot contest that because they may have some documentations, but some of them were desktop activities. So they may have some documentations that you cannot make. And indeed, if they want to be transparent, it's supposed to be a public document anyway. It's not a secret document. They should show it to us. To see what they said the contractor had done those works and they are doing validation. They should show us those documents.
So what they have not done is they have not given us the cost breakdown of the works that they say they've done. So what they've done is that they did a number of environmental and pre-construction things like topographic survey and mapping, geology and geotechnical studies and drawings and all of that. They don't mention any amount. But then they actually then talk about construction works. Then they mention a 5.2 kilometer access road off. So the key word is off the main Saribak Pasinke road to the contractor's camp. So that suggests that the camp is off Saribak Pasinke.
The route I am telling you is off. You see, you cannot, if you are coming, where you move out of the route, the main road. For example, if you are coming from Tamale to Bolga, on that road, that through the Walawale, it is on your right.
Okay.
So it is off that road. Then you go, and it's actually it's a distance. It's a distance of about 5, 6, 7 kilometers. That is how it is. But I'm saying that it is. If you look at that I use the word donkey path because we are used. Normally, you go even when you are driving in the northern part of. Most of the roads you see in between villages are not actual constructed roads. They are just paths that donkeys have used the carts to pass over a period of time, and that's the way it looks. So if that is part of the expenditure that they incurred in constructing that road, I am telling you that is not a road. That is it. That's not a road.
He had the MP for Bongo and member of the Mines and Energy Committee of Parliament, Edward Bauer, in that interview with host of the City Breakfast Show, Bernard Avley. Away from that, aggrieved workers of Produce Buying Company Limited have called on the government to intervene and save the company from further collapse, warning of a massive protest over what they describe as the entity's dwindling fortunes. The workers, clad in red armbands, besieged the Ashanti Regional Office of the Ghana Cocoa Board to vent their frustrations. They called on state agencies to investigate management members regarding financial issues. Vice Chairman of the pressure group of the PBC Limited, Seth Edusei, addressed journalists in Kumasi during the protest, stating that members are suffering.
As we speak now, our tier 3, which had been deducted over a period of years now, is still hanging. Yes. We have called upon management for the past 2 to almost 3 months now. They keep claiming that they are still processing it. What is the problem? Is it anything to do with enterprise insurance? Or is it a problem with management? Why is it that nobody is talking about the issue? So, Mr. President, we are calling upon you once again to charge your people. Let them tell us why the tier 3 issue is still hanging. It is our own money. We want the whole thing to be paid to us so that we can use some to deal with our personal issues at home. When all these things are not met, as we have declared, Mr. President, you are not our target, but we can assure you that We will hit the street.
That was the vice chairman of the pressure group of PBC Limited, Seth Edusei. Private legal practitioner Martin Pebu is calling for a discontinuation of the court case against minority leader Dr. Kesel Atu-Forson. The third accused person in the case, Richard Jakpa, had accused the Attorney General and Minister of Justice Godfred Yeboah-Dami of pressurizing him to falsify his testimony to indict Dr. Forson following his alleged involvement in the procurement of defective ambulances for Ghana. The NDC, at a press conference in Accra yesterday, released an audio tape which the party alleged was to force Mr. Jakpa to implicate Dr. Atu-Forson. Reacting to the leaked audio tape, Mr. Pebu called for the setting up of a commission of inquiry to deal with the matter and restore public confidence in the judiciary.
We expect that the court case will be cancelled because under the law of disclosure, when the court finds out that this is what a prosecutor has done, usually the remedy is that there's a stay of proceedings, that's cancellation of the case, because a court of justice is meant to dispense justice. It is not a forum for political witch hunting, political vendetta, vengeance, etc. No. If we don't tackle this, if this case is not properly resolved so that confidence will be restored in the justice system, it means that we will lose a lot of confidence. People have always had their misgivings about our justice system, etc. So if we don't resolve this satisfactorily, it's going to feed into that exception. We all must throw in our weight. We all must chip in our bit to make sure that this case is resolved satisfactorily by getting the Attorney General out of office, calling him before the General Legal Council, cancelling the case, and then finally setting up a commission of inquiry to go into all of these matters so that other people who have suffered such injustice at the hands of the Attorney General will come and testify.
Martin Pebu also called on the Ghana Bar Association to make public pronouncement on the matter.
The bar should speak. Let me put this in context. The bar is shying away from these national issues because in the past there had been a resolution to that effect, because at a certain point it was perceived that the bar was becoming too political, etc. But you know that we have huge issues with governance. So the bar is a critical voice. In times past, they did a lot, especially during the revolutionary times, right? So one would have expected the bar to continue in that light. But here we are, they are shying away because they say they don't want to be that political. So usually they wouldn't comment much. The last time I heard them go into a matter that concerns a lot of governors was on the Galamsey matter. But that is not sufficient. So yes, I support the call that the bar should come out of its shell and contribute to almost every national issue. This particular case is a national issue because, Zoe, let's not forget that a previous Attorney General had to resign because of such a similar meeting of persons in the house of a sitting judge.
He had private legal practitioner Martin Pebu. The Secretary General of the Trade Union Congress, Dr. Anthony Yauba, has lauded the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia's campaign message, "It is possible," as a positive and significant message for the nation. In a meeting with Dr. Bawumia on Wednesday, the TUC Secretary General expressed his support for the Vice President's optimistic campaign message. He stated that the message resonates with the aspirations of many Ghanaians who are eager for positive change and development in the country.
Dr. Bawumia once said, ideas, systems, and institutions are ingredients for transforming a country. Let me repeat that one. He said ideas, systems, and institutions are the ingredients that we need to transform Ghana. I personally listened to him during his recent campaign tour across the country, and he insists that it is possible. And I see that everywhere. It is possible. I think that positive message is very, very important for this country. it is possible.
You had the Secretary General of the Trade Union Congress, Dr. Anthony Yauba.
This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We are coming to you from our studios in Adabraka in Accra. We are also around the globe on citinewsroom.com. Now, there's a story making the rounds that former President John Mahama has said he'll restore the cedi in 100 days if he becomes president. In fact, that story, I've seen it on Ghana Web. I'm going to quote a few things that the former president said. That he was speaking at the 8th CEO Summit held in Accra on Monday, 27th May 2024. Mr. Mahama said, quote, "The number one priority will be stabilizing the economy and restoring a stable currency by launching an urgent economic recovery and fiscal consolidation plan following a national economic dialogue to be held within 100 days of assumption of office," unquote. The headline to the story says, "I will restore the cedi in 100 days." John Mahama. The Mahama campaign team has taken issue with this particular publication and others that suggest that the former president says he will fix the cedi in 100 days. Let's understand more what the position of the campaign is. Beatrice Annan is a member of the John Mahama campaign team. She's joined us on the line. Madam, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Good evening to you, Miles Wanda.
Is your campaign recanting or you have been misquoted?
I think that it is a complete misquote, and it shows that going into this election, we all have to pay attention to fake news. When President Mahama spoke 2 days ago at the Ghana CEO Summit, the summary of his speech was that we are in the country where unemployment is at its highest rate in 40 years. Inflation is above 25%. Interest rates between 30% and 50%. And no business can survive with this interest rate. And over 800,000 people have been pushed down the poverty line, coupled with high government expenditure. And all these factors have led to very unfavorable macroeconomic conditions. And so it is important that when elected as president, the priority or his priority will be that he will restore macroeconomic stability. And to do that, he was, as a matter of urgency, going to engage in an urgent economic recovery program calculated to stabilize our economy so that the clusters of industries that he was addressing can have the needed economic environment to operate. And he also said that he was going to hold a national presidential CEO dialogue or economic dialogue within the first 100 days. And so I'm sure that that is what was misquoted. And the idea of hosting this national economic dialogue is for Ghanaians to know the extent of the economic degradation that we have been faced with and our economic challenges, so that together with all relevant stakeholders, we can come up with homegrown solutions to tackle the economic mess that we find ourselves in. So let me put it on record that President Mahama acknowledged that if you look at the reason why big businesses like Global, Nivea, Lipton, and many other Jumia and many other multinationals are exiting, it is because of the economic environment. And so you must stabilize the general economic environment to get businesses to thrive while cutting government expenditure extensively. And so I want to put on record that he recognized the need to stabilize the cedi and, of course, to reduce the high rate of unemployment and other unfavorable macroeconomic indicators. But never did he say that he was going to restore the cedi in 100 days. I think that tomorrow, one thing we will all agree on, irrespective of the different political backgrounds that we may be associated with, is that President Mahama is not a loose talker. President Mahama is not known to be in the habit of making very reckless promises for the purposes of just winning elections. You could see, and over the years, has demonstrated that he's a presidential material. He brings a lot of honor to the office of the president. He's not in the habit of telling lies with the view that, the electorate may not understand or believe anything I say. That is not his style. Ever since, any Ghanaian has known President Mahama, he's been a person who thinks through his policies and doesn't just talk because he has to talk. And it certainly should tell us that this is just a propaganda from our friends in the NPP.
Very well. Thank you so much for the clarification. We appreciate you for the time.
Thank you very much, Martha.
That's Beatrice Annan. She is a member of the John Mahama campaign team. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Up next is Business News.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
In a world where only the best survives, you need a fuel that can match your drive. A fuel with unparalleled protection for your engine, superior efficiency, and unrivaled performance. A fuel so unbeatable, when you get behind the wheel, you'll focus on what really matters. The journey ahead. That fuel is Shell V-Power, because no other fuel gives your engine better protection, better efficiency, and better performance. Be unbeatable. Drive unbeatable. Shell V-Power. Shell, go well.
KB, aka Kubeboga, now drives a Bugatti. He can even travel by road from Accra to London. Oh, wow. KB's source of wealth is agriculture. Yes, coconut business. After losing his bank job, he started supplying coconuts at events. Now, he owns large coconut plantations and employs many young people. Charlie, we all need to trust the process, because hope day.
There has never been a better time to enter into agribusiness. Take a bold step today with the Ghana Grows program, because every step pays. Ejuma Wokrom, Ghana Grows, Hope Day, an initiative of the MasterCard Foundation in partnership with Springboard Roadshow Foundation and Limehouse.
Are you a contractor, builder, or a proud homeowner with an eye for quality and security? Well, look no further than Yale. Yale is a trusted name in security for over 180 years. When it comes to securing your home or business, trust Yale. We make security simple, and we're right here in the heart of Accra, Ghana. Visit our stunning showroom on 11th Lane Street, Inosu, Accra, and discover a world of premium Yale products, including door hardware, handles, and door locks that will elevate the security and style of your space. Whether you're building from scratch or renovating, Yale has the perfect solution for you. Our products are known for their durability, innovation, and most importantly, your peace of mind. Visit us today and experience the Yale difference. Your security, our priority. Yale, locking in your peace of mind.
You know your papa see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, Papa! Bobo, so how your engine now? It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Quartz and you can feel better energy. Can't touch this. Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that. Yes, so somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched. Sancho Panza.
Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz?
No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer.
Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency.
Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Mr. Mane, sorry. Chairman Omani.
Chairman. Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens. Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. City Business News. Be informed.
Time now for City Business News on Eyewitness News, brought to you by GCB Bank PLC. GCB Personal Loan, make that big move and dream a reality. My name is Hawa Idrisu Mustafa. Details of our stories now. Banks are choosing to hold more of their money with the central bank instead of giving out loans to individuals and businesses. According to the latest data from the Bank of Ghana, private sector credit growth has slowed down significantly. There is more in this News Desk report.
The loans given out between April last year and this year dropped from 19.8% to 10.8%. On the other hand, the percentage of their total deposits that banks are holding with the central bank increased from 46.5% to 51.9%. This development is linked to the Bank of Ghana's revised cash reserve ratio requirement. Under the new CRR system, which took effect on April 1, 2024, banks that lend out more than 55% of their deposits need to keep 15% of their deposit as reserves, while those lending out less than 40% must keep 25% as reserves. Additionally, in February 2024, the growth rate of loans to businesses was just 5.1%, a significant drop from 29.5% in February 2023. At the same time, banks were investing more money in government bonds, with investment rising to 53.6 billion Ghana cedis, a 67.6% increase from the previous year. This is in spite of the fact that banks saw a 25.5% increase in deposits after the domestic debt exchange program.
That was a City News Desk report. The Ghana Plastic Manufacturers Association has raised serious allegations against certain free zone companies, claiming that their illegal practices are causing significant revenue losses to the government. The following report has more.
According to the association, approximately 12 of the 166 plastic manufacturing companies in Ghana are registered under the Free Zones enterprise. These companies are allegedly importing plastic raw materials duty-free and then selling them illegally on the local market. The Plastic Manufacturers Association claims that this practice has led to the government losing about 20 million Ghana cedis per month. President of the Plastic Manufacturers Association, Iwobochi, expressed frustration over the lack of response from authorities.
We have about 166 plastic manufacturing companies, and out of this, just about 12 of them free zone enterprise registered. Some of these 12 free zone companies are importing plastic raw materials and illegally selling it on the open local market, thereby causing government to lose millions and millions in revenue by way of avoiding payment of import duties. 18 months ago, we reported this situation to the Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Trade and Industry, and the Ghana Free Zones Authority. But this illegality of business still continues. It is estimated that government is losing approximately 22 million Ghana cedis per month, or in a year, 264 million Ghana cedis through these illegal activities.
Meanwhile, the Ghana Free Zones Authority in a press release says it has already initiated monitoring and spot checks of the production site and is in the process of producing its first report on the impact of the measures by third quarter of the year.
A report was filed by my colleague Edna Agnes Boache. Now, in April of this year, the total number of mobile money transactions surged to 630 million cedis, according to the data released by the Bank of Ghana. This marks a substantial increase from the 542 million cedi transactions recorded in the same period last year. Daniel Odru-Mensah provides a comprehensive overview in the following News Desk report.
Mobile money transactions have seen a topsy-turvy trend, as evidenced by data from the Bank of Ghana's summary of macroeconomic and financial data for May 2024. In May of the previous year, transactions soared to 563 million, following a month-on-month increase from 542 million in April. However, June witnessed a slight decline, with transactions dropping to 538 million. Although data for July and August were not available, there was a notable improvement in September and October, with transactions reaching 587 million and 615 million respectively. This positive momentum continued into the last 2 months of 2023, culminating in 618 million and 657 million transactions in November and December respectively. However, in January 2024, the total number of mobile money transactions decreased to 618 million compared to the 657 million recorded in December 2023. This downward trend persisted in February, with transactions dropping further to 609 million before rebounding to 631 million in March. In contrast, the total value of transactions for April 2024 reached 203 billion Ghana cedis, indicating a significant increase from 138.8 billion cedis recorded in the same period last year. Looking back to May 2023, the total value surged to 159.7 billion cedis compared to the previous month, followed by a decrease to 149.4 billion cedis in June. Despite the absence of records for July and August, there was a consistent upward trajectory from September to December, with values reaching 157 billion cedis, 179 billion cedis, 185.9 billion cedis, and 199.3 billion cedis respectively. However, starting from January 2024, there was a slight decline in the value of transactions compared to December 2023. January saw transactions amounting to 198.4 billion cedis, which then decreased sharply to 195.8 billion cedis in February. March witnessed a further drop to 181.9 billion cedis before experiencing a significant increase to 203 billion cedis in April.
Daniel Odrumensa filed that report. Now, without it, fishermen cannot embark on any fishing expedition. It's perhaps the most important tool for the catch. Usually described as the fisherman's number one companion, canoes or fishing boats are crafted through rigorous processes before gliding into the sea or any other water body to catch the fish that spices your favorite meal. Nila Tilate visited the Temo Fishing Harbour to explore the business of canoe building, and he tells the story of the boat maker.
It is an early morning. I'm here not to get the first catch for myself or even buy to resell, but rather how fishing boats or canoes are made is what has brought me here.
I have a canoe, but it is no longer fit for use, and I am unable to repair it due to the difficulty of obtaining wood for the new base. Typically, we coordinate with suppliers in the hinterlands who negotiate with local chiefs to procure the wood for us. Not just any wood will do. Wawa is the preferred choice because of its ability to float on the sea.
The search for wood is taking carvers all the way to Ivory Coast, albeit at outrageous prices. In addition, carvers are paying as much as 2,500 cedis as transportation, with the same amount going into paperworks to get the wood.
There are no longer logs coming from our usual forest areas in the country. As a result, wood suppliers are now going into the forest of Ivory Coast to cut wood for canoes, which is contributing to the increase in prices.
Once the wood is selected, it's time to start shaping the base of the canoe, which is the hull. Large logs are transported here and are cut into planks. This is where craftsmanship comes to bear.
The log is split into two halves to create the base of the canoe. The pieces are then bent and nailed one after the other onto the hull to give the canoe its shape and form. Cross-linear wooden ribs are added at intervals to reinforce the base. This process involves a series of chiseling, stitching and bending of various parts.
Here, every wood, every joint and every nail matters. It takes about 1 to 3 weeks for these carvers to make a canoe from scratch. This is dependent on the size and the amount of manual labor involved. Every canoe definitely tells a story, from the hands that shaped it to the belief of the owner.
One inscription means, "Don't touch it." It means that only those who worked for the harvest have the right to benefit from it. The inscriptions are based on individual philosophies, and people choose them for various reasons.
I'm seated on the stern of this well-designed canoe. What you probably do not know is that it will cost the fisherman a fortune to own one. But what options do they have? They definitely have to keep their businesses afloat. Reporting from Tema, my name is Ni Latte Latte for CNR Business.
Well, that'll be all for City Business News on Eyewitness News. Up next is Point Blank. My name is Hawa Idrisu Mustafa. Good evening.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
There are some classy celebrations that calls for whipping out your favorite China sets. Same goes for your luxury vehicle. Just any engine oil won't do. Premium understands premium best. The new Shell Helix Ultra 0W20 SP with carbon neutral properties is the one for your premium car. It's a fully synthetic motor oil designed using the Shell Pure Plus technology. Prevents dirt buildup with exceptional cleaning power, leaving your pistons cleaner than a whistle, up to 50% more than the industry standard, and gives you stronger, long-lasting engine performance. So, if you want your classic car to run smoothly like a Ferrari for years to come, use the Shell Helix Ultra 0W20 SP with carbon neutral properties. Shell Helix Ultra 0W20 SP, designed for ultimate engine performance.
KB, aka Kubeboga, now drives a Bugatti. He can even travel by road from Accra to London. Oh, wow. KB's source of wealth is agriculture. Yes, coconut business. After losing his bank job, he started supplying coconuts at events. Now, he owns large coconut plantations and employs many young people. Charlie, we all need to trust the process, because hope days.
There has never been a better time to enter into agribusiness. Take a bold step today with the Ghana Grows program, because every step pays. Ejuma Wokrom, Ghana Grows, Hope Day, an initiative of the MasterCard Foundation in partnership with Springboard Roadshow Foundation and Limehouse.
Life is a stage and we're all players, playing the supporting role.
The title of my poem is
Playing with Rhythm. Playing the lead. Playing to win. Playing with gusto. Playing for the sheer thrill until the curtain falls. Because every journey begins with play. Kickstart yours with MTN. So, what are we doing today? MTN.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
And tonight on Point Blank, we are doing greetings from abroad. You remember that show? Except that tonight's greetings are not very kind or healthy or nice greetings. They are greetings from Ghanaian students abroad who say they have been neglected and abandoned by the government that sent them there on scholarships and other programs. So we'll be going to Morocco, Casablanca and Rabat, and we'll be going to the United Kingdom, London. We hear from Ghanaian students who have been complaining. Last month, actually 2 months ago, we heard from students in Hungary who said they are also hungry. Pun intended. Of course, is in the United Kingdom. There's a petition that has been penned by one of the students who cannot bear it anymore, addressed to Ghana's ambassador, titled Urgent Appeal for Assistance, Plight of Ghanaian Students in the UK. That letter is signed by Pius Lord Apri. He's joined us on the line from London. Hello, Pius. You're welcome to Eyewitness News on Citi FM.
Hi, Sarah, good evening.
Good evening. How bad is your story? What is happening to Ghanaian students abroad, and under what program or policy did you go to the UK?
Okay, thank you. Pursuing a PhD in the Kent Business School, sponsored by the Ghana Scholarship Secretariat. I've been here since September 2021. And as we speak, since I've been here, of course, the program was said that the government of Ghana would, apart from the school fees, they would pay us stipend every month. So you can calculate the number of months I've been here. I've only been paid 9 months. As we speak, I'm owed 25 months of stipend. And so that is how bad the situation is. 25
months?
Yes, please.
And
the last time we were paid stipends was last year, March. But before that, we were owed so much. And so since last year, March, till today, we've not been paid anything. And so totally, those of us who came in September 2021, we are owed 25 months. Others are owed less than that because they were here before us and all that. So that's how bad the situation is. So I wrote a petition to the Ghana's ambassador to the UK. That's Papa Usankuma. And I actually met him personally at a program in London. And I introduced myself to him, told him I was the one who wrote that petition, and that the situation is very bad. We are really struggling here. And from what he said, I'm not quoting what he said, but from what I gathered from the conversation, it's like there is no hope anywhere. Because actually, I'm not actually the only person who has written such a petition to the ambassador. He claims that a couple of people have done that, a lot more people, and the situation is becoming embarrassing. It's unfortunate things are this way. So that is how bad our situation is.
About how many students are we talking about here? I mean, your colleagues or compatriots over there who are running through these challenges?
For the PhD students, hold on. For the PhD students, we are over 120. Yes. For the PhD students, we are 120, 130 thereabouts. But they are, of course, master students. And I'm sure there'll be there'll be a few undergraduate students, yes. So even for the PhD students alone, we are about 130 and over.
Do you have like a WhatsApp platform that you all are on? What are some of the comments or messages people are putting on this page?
Well, the comments and the messages, it's disheartening a bit because, the truth is that there are people who are scared to speak for the fear of probably withdrawal of the scholarship. You understand? So, and for other reasons, maybe I could text you later, but so even when you complain, you are seen as the negative one. Why are you complaining? Keep quiet. You shouldn't get to the media. And so many other reasons.
Why are you bold to come to the media then and even write a petition?
To the extent that some of the students who are even on a platform will call you and issue threats. They have undertone, like, for the way they talk to you, like, why are you doing that? So, like, it has some, whatever, undertone and all that. I have a couple of them on my phone. And I go like, you know what, at this point, there's nothing nothing that will push me. Because, after what? So, it's a bit difficult for us. And the unfortunate thing is that, per the visa we are on, we can only work for 20 hours a week. And sometimes because of the workload, you're not even able to work at all. So how do you actually even pay your bills, your rent, transport, feed yourself, attend conferences? The PhD work purely research and conferences. But look, we are not able to even attend conferences because we don't have the funds. Whilst other students from other, the Asians, you get the Asians and other European countries, students going for the conferences as if it's just, a stone throw. Because, of course, their funds are always paid to them. But we are not, our situation is different. So, you can imagine how it is. It's very depressing. The PhD program itself is very stressful, very depressing. It's a long journey. It's a lonely journey. And so to be going through this financial stress and all those things, you can imagine the effect and even the quality of work you produce. So that's the situation.
Now, you talked about stipends. What about school fees? Do you get that one at least?
Okay, so yeah, that one from time to time. But as I speak with you now, just this afternoon, I was even filling a particular form or something, and they were requesting for my student status letter, to show that I am still in school. But because I owe school fees, because I couldn't access that. They said the information that came was I can quickly refer because I'm behind my laptop now. I'm working. It told me. Where is it? I said, so the thing is, the school fees is paid because, of course, that one has to go through, but it's not being paid on a regular. So sometimes you don't have access to certain school facilities like the libraries, other access to other portals. You can't have it because you owe school fees. You have to just make do with your own Google Scholar, which is free on the internet, by the school library itself, or probably if you have colleagues or friends in other universities, in other countries, you just give them your articles you want, they download it for you. But for yours, for mine, no way.
Please hold on. Let me go to Morocco and hear us also from other students there. So kindly be on the line for me. Let me speak to Emmanuel Akon. So you just heard the Pius is in UK. Let's go to Emmanuel Akon. He's in Morocco. Emmanuel, you're welcome to Eyewitness News. Where in Morocco are you? Casablanca, Rabat, where?
All right. Good evening, sir. Please, I'm in Fez.
Okay. Talk to us about the program you're studying and under what scholarship scheme you are in Morocco.
All right. So, I'm reading medical laboratory, and let's say 90% of students here, we are under government scholarship, of which we pass through Ghana Scholarship Secretariat.
How long have you been there for, and what is your story?
All right, so I'm in my second year now, and it's been 10 months that we haven't received our stipends that we had in contract with the Ghana government, that when we come every month we're supposed to have $250. Every month we're supposed to have $250, but it's been 10 months now that we haven't received it. And our situation here as a student It's very sad. It's very, very sad. It's been 10 months. Most of us, like 90% of us, depend on the stipends that we receive from Ghana. 90%. So due to the delay of the stipends, most of us are stuck in our academics, where we stay. Our landlords are being like our landlords are chasing us from the apartment. We don't have the money for transportation to go to school. It's a whole lot. It's a whole lot. As I'm talking to you right now, I'm patching with a Guinea friend, of which if you would give me the opportunity, like I could have given the phone to him, because my landlord has chased me out of this one. I was owing 4 months. I couldn't pay. Not to talk of what to eat.
This person you are patching with is a person from Ghana?
No, Guinea.
Oh, from Guinea. Also on government scholarship from Guinea?
Yeah, I think.
Do they have...
Most of us we depend on other... Most of us depend on other nationalities.
No, because you mentioned that he's from Guinea. I just wanted to know if he's also on scholarship from government and whether their stipends at least get paid.
Yes, please.
I see. So it means you are playing a cat and mouse game in that country.
It's something somehow like that, because most of us, as we are talking right now, we have 6 students who are sleeping in church premises.
That's
6
bad.
Students. Recently, I saw one new student on the street. I cried.
Have you tried to go to the embassy? Have you tried to reach out to the offices in Accra? What have you been told?
We've been doing everything possible we're supposed to do. Writing letters to the Ghana embassy, writing letters to the secretariats. Embassy been pushing it. The Ghana embassy here been pushing it day in, day out. We've been like we are on them every day in, day out. But what we hear is the money is not yet being released. Like a whole lot. Today we will hear this, tomorrow is a different story. Today we hear this, tomorrow is a different story. We don't know what's going on, and we are stuck. As we are talking now, final year students who supposed to, here before you graduate, you have to. There's this project they normally do. As we are talking now, final year students are stuck. They have no money to go and do their project before and some of us, like most students, have given their passport as a collateral. They've borrowed money from other nationalities or from other Americans like that. So due to that, they will think maybe they run away with their money or something like that. So some of us, our passports is not even with us as we are talking now.
What about, I understand you organized a demonstration or something like that. Was there any success?
Yeah, we did the demonstration. No, we did the demonstration. But so now we haven't heard anything from the government nor the scholarship secretariat.
Will you do another one?
Yeah, that's what we're planning to do now. Right now, we have our seniors back home. We call Gamosa. Those seniors who completed here, they are called Gamosa. Right now, we are in contact with them, and we're planning to do this internationally.
Okay, very well. Wish you all the best, and thank you for speaking to us. Be strong and stay safe out there.
All right, thank you.
That's Emmanuel Akon. He's a Ghanaian student in Morocco on government scholarship. They have not been paid their stipends. Life is hell. In the UK, Pius is on the other line. Pius, are you also going to go the demonstration way?
Okay, so we had a meeting on our platform, and so we decided we're going to go on a demonstration. But some of us were like, you know what? Let's first contact our ambassador, because he is our father in this country, and then hear what he has to say and all that. So that's why I wrote a letter to him.
Okay. So
he told me I met him personally too. He told me he was going to respond, and to date I've not heard from him. But the thing is, even when we mentioned it, I mentioned on our platform that if nobody is going to do this, I am going to do it because my welfare, my mental health, and everything is important to me. At this point, I can't put somebody's interest ahead of my interest. You understand?
Very well.
I'll do a demonstration. Look, I had lots of calls from some of the students who are also old. One of them actually, I can screenshot the conversation, send it to you. One of them actually called me and told me that, you know what you are doing is too much, this, that, and that. If you go on a demonstration, it's two things. Either you get the money or you not get the money and you will be sent home to Ghana. I was like, excuse my language, what do you mean by that? I don't want to use the word. I was like, what do you mean by that?
So you will go on the demonstration. Let's see how that pans out. Wish you all the best and thank you for speaking to us. Please stay safe out there.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for also speaking to us here.
Great. So that's Pius Lord Apre. He's a Ghanaian student on scholarship in the UK. Earlier you heard Emmanuel Akon, also a Ghanaian student on scholarship in Morocco. Both of them saying their colleagues and themselves have not been paid their stipends by the scholarship secretariat. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Have a good night.